As we age, eating eggs can lead to 4 serious mistakes that are as harmful as consuming something toxic, and the consequences could be so severe that an emergency may come too late. Are eggs a healthy food or a hidden danger? Dear friends, it's likely that throughout our lives, most of us have eaten eggs at some point. They're a common dish from breakfast to dinner, enjoyed by everyone from the elderly to young children. People often say that eating one egg can be enough to fuel a meal. But here's a little-known truth. If not consumed properly, that very egg could turn into a silent danger, unknowingly harming our bodies each day. I remember an elderly man in his 70s, strong and sharp-minded, who ate eggs every single day. Sometimes he would eat 3 or 4 eggs in one meal. Yet one morning, he was rushed to the hospital, doubled over in pain with severe stomach cramps. The diagnosis? Severe fatty liver, digestive issues all originating from the eggs. As you can see, eggs aren't harmful on their own. In fact, they're very nutritious. But when consumed in the wrong way, at the wrong time, or by the wrong person, they can quietly damage the health of older adults. So, what exactly are the 4 mistakes people make when eating eggs that could pose serious health risks, possibly even life-threatening ones? Could you or a loved one be making these mistakes every day without even realizing it? Stick around until the end of this video, because the mistakes shared here could save your health and maybe even your life. The first mistake: eating eggs with soy milk, orange juice, or green tea. This combination, which may seem harmless, can secretly harm the body, especially for older adults. For many elderly people, breakfast is a time to nurture their health. A boiled egg, a cup of soy milk, orange juice, or simply a warm cup of green tea may look like a perfect, nutritious start to the day. It seems balanced, providing protein, vitamins, and helping detox the body. But this seemingly harmless combination can in fact cause harm. Soy milk contains a significant amount of phytates, which when combined with the protein in eggs, form a compound that's hard to digest. While younger people's digestive systems are strong enough to handle this, older adults with weaker digestion and reduced enzyme activity can suffer from bloating, indigestion, nausea, and even diarrhea after eating. And what about orange juice? The citric acid in orange juice is very high. When consumed right after eating eggs, it alters the structure of the egg's protein, making it harder for the body to absorb and can irritate the stomach, particularly for those who might have mild ulcers without knowing it. Even worse is green tea, which is often seen as a detoxifier. However, it contains tannins. When tannins combine with the protein in eggs, they form an indigestible substance and can even block the absorption of iron from the food, leading to fatigue, dizziness, and anemia, especially for those whose diet is already poor. In summary, eggs should be eaten alone to ensure optimal absorption. Avoid combining them with soy milk, orange juice, or green tea to prevent these hidden health risks. If you're surprised by this information, feel free to leave a comment. I'll stop combining them this way. Or, now I know it's dangerous, I'll make a change. These small changes can help others learn too, and sometimes a small tweak in our habits is the best way to improve our health better than any supplement. The second mistake: eating eggs on an empty stomach. A habit that might seem harmless can quietly damage your stomach, especially for older adults. Many people wake up in the morning and immediately eat a boiled egg. Quick, easy, and no cooking needed. Some even think that eating eggs on an empty stomach helps the body absorb nutrients better. It sounds logical, but the truth is actually quite the opposite. Eggs, particularly the egg whites, are packed with albumin, a heavy protein. When you eat them on an empty stomach, your digestive juices are still diluted, and your stomach isn't fully prepared to break down the complex proteins in eggs. This can make eggs the first burden on your digestive system every morning. While younger people might not feel the effects, Older adults with weaker stomach linings and slower digestion are putting their bodies through unnecessary stress, like trying to drive a car at full speed without warming up the engine first. The results can be uncomfortable: bloating, gas, heartburn, mild nausea, and fatigue after eating. If this continues, it could lead to more serious issues like stomach ulcers, acid reflux, and chronic digestive problems. Eating eggs on an empty stomach also means you're not absorbing all the nutrients. The excess stomach acid can destroy important vitamins, especially B vitamins in the eggs. So what's the easy solution? Before eating eggs, try having a light snack like some crackers, a small bowl of porridge, a bit of sweet potato, or even a warm cup of water. Just a small buffer like this helps your stomach regulate its juices and enzymes, making it easier to digest eggs properly and absorb all the nutrients. If you've been eating eggs on an empty stomach because it seemed quicker or more convenient, leave a comment below. Let me know if you'll be making this small change for better health. Trust me, after you start eating eggs the right way, you'll feel lighter, more comfortable, and enjoy a better start to your day. The third mistake: eating too many eggs in one meal. What might seem like a good way to boost your nutrition can actually cause your body to build up harmful cholesterol and toxic levels in your liver. Sometimes it's that extra, just a little more, that can push your body past its limits, especially as we age. Eggs are incredibly nutritious, but that doesn't mean eating as many as possible is the best approach. Many older adults believe that eating 2 or 3 eggs in one meal is a great way to make up for eating irregularly throughout the day. But here's the truth: your body at 60 isn't the same as it was in your 30s or 40s. Think of the liver like a waste management plant. The cholesterol in eggs is like a heavy truck that keeps arriving every day. 1 egg is just the right amount. 2 eggs are pushing it. And 3 eggs in a single meal makes the liver work 3 times harder. The heart has to pump more blood, and the blood vessels face more pressure. Eating too many eggs raises your cholesterol levels, which can lead to fatty liver disease, high blood pressure, especially after a big meal, and clogged arteries. These issues are often the cause of strokes and heart attacks in older adults. What's even more concerning is that many people end up in the hospital due to heart problems, without realizing that their eating habits might be what started it all. What seemed like a healthy, nourishing meal a few years ago might be the very thing causing harm now. So what do nutrition experts recommend? For older adults, 1 egg per day is enough. If you feel like you want more, space them out between meals. Don't eat them all at once. If this sounds familiar and you've been overindulging thinking more is better, leave a comment below. Write something like, "I'll eat eggs in moderation," or "I'm going to stick to the right amount for long-term health." This small change can inspire others to adopt healthier habits too, because living a healthy life isn't about eating as much as you can. It's about knowing what's enough and stopping at the right time. The 4th mistake: cooking eggs too much. What seems like cooking eggs thoroughly to be safe can actually destroy their nutritional value and harm your liver cells. Boiling eggs until they're firm or frying them crispy is how we've always done it. This habit has become a staple in many households over the years, but too much of anything can be a burden. When eggs are overcooked, the yolk turns gray, sometimes even with a greenish ring around it. This isn't just a sign that the egg is well done, it's a red flag for your health. When eggs are exposed to high heat for too long, the cholesterol in them gets oxidized, creating a compound called oxyterol. Scientists refer to oxyterol as a silent killer for the liver and blood vessels. Instead of being absorbed as nutrition, these oxidized substances attack liver cells, forcing the liver to work overtime. They irritate the stomach lining, causing bloating, discomfort, and over time increase the risk of plaque buildup in blood vessels, leading to arterial sclerosis, especially dangerous for older adults. Imagine this: When an egg is cooked just right with a soft, smooth yolk, it's like the gentle care we give to older adults. But when it's fried too long or overcooked, the egg becomes dry, hard, and even toxic, just like your body being drained of its energy by a simple bad habit. The solution is simple. Boil eggs for about 6 minutes, just until the yolk is set. Avoid over-frying or refrying eggs multiple times. If you've ever thought that overcooking eggs made them safer and now realize it's wrong, leave a comment below. I'll cook my eggs the right way, or I won't overcook them anymore to stay healthy. Sharing these insights is how we can all learn and live healthier lives. And let me say this from the heart. Eggs aren't the problem, it's how we eat them. And for older adults, that mistake could cost us our final years. Dear friends, as we've seen from the 4 mistakes so far, even a single egg, if not eaten properly, can quietly trigger a range of dangerous health problems, from digestive issues and fatty liver to high blood pressure and even strokes. I hope that after watching this, you'll know how to eat eggs scientifically tasty and healthy for your later years. If you found the insights in this video valuable, meaningful, and practical, please like and share it with your family and friends, especially those over the age of 50, so they can learn and adjust early. But that's not the worst part. There are people who, despite eating eggs the right way, cooking them properly, and choosing the right foods, still face rejection from their bodies. Doctors warn that these individuals should absolutely avoid eating eggs. If they don't, it could shorten their lifespan, and by the time they realize it, it may be too late. Could you be one of these special groups? Let's take a look. 6 groups of people should absolutely avoid eating eggs, according to doctors, as it can lead to premature death if ignored. The first group, people with high blood pressure. Eating eggs indiscriminately is like throwing fire onto a leaking gas tank. People with high blood pressure are always at the top of the list of individuals who should not eat eggs regularly. And the reason isn't because eggs are bad, but because a person with high blood pressure no longer has the capacity to handle the cholesterol in eggs. Imagine your body as a car that's been used for many years. The engine still runs, but the brake lines and oil system are worn down. Meanwhile, the cholesterol in egg yolks is like a heavy, dense fuel. If too much of it is pumped in too often, eventually, the gas tank inside the body could explode. Eggs, especially the yolk, contain around 186 milligrams of cholesterol per egg, while the recommended limit for people with high blood pressure is under 200 milligrams per day. Just one egg brings you close to that limit, and if you eat other foods throughout the day, like liver, meat, or processed foods, your liver, heart, and blood vessels have to work extra hard to process it all. With older adults who already have weaker blood vessels, the risk of a burst artery or stroke is very real. Many people think, I only eat 1 egg, what's the harm? But what they don't realize is that cholesterol doesn't only come from eggs. It's in the rice, meat, bone broth, and even the instant noodles you had for breakfast. The egg is just the last drop in a cup that's already full. Another important point. Eggs also contain saturated fats. This type of fat increases blood viscosity, making it harder for blood to flow, causing blood pressure to spike after meals. Often, those affected don't even realize it. Headaches, a heavy feeling in the face, and insomnia after dinner might all be signs that your body is speaking to you. Eggs aren't bad, but for those with high blood pressure, eggs should be respected, not indulged in every day. Choosing the right time and understanding your body's needs is key to truly understanding nutrition. The second group, people with liver disease. Eating eggs for them is like adding more oil to a machine that's already worn out. Many people don't realize or choose to ignore this important fact. The liver is responsible for processing almost all fats, proteins, and toxins that enter the body. When the liver is unhealthy, it's the hardest test it faces. For healthy individuals, the liver can handle the cholesterol and fats in eggs efficiently. But for people with fatty liver, hepatitis, cirrhosis, or high liver enzymes, Eggs are like adding more grease to a machine that's already overheating, breaking down, and about to fail. Eggs, particularly the yolk, contain a relatively high level of fat, including saturated fats and natural cholesterol. These substances need to be processed by the liver. But for those with an inflamed or fatty liver, every bit of fat that enters the body forces the liver to work beyond its limits. Many older adults have asked, "I have a mild fatty liver, so can I eat eggs?" Unfortunately, the answer is yes. It's risky. Fatty liver is a silent killer. It doesn't cause immediate pain, but it gradually destroys healthy liver cells, weakening its detoxification function. When the liver is already compromised and we continue to add eggs daily, the fats that can't be processed accumulate, and toxins that should be filtered out will circulate and attack your own body. Over time, you'll start to feel fatigued even with little food, bloating, yellowing of the skin, itching, and insomnia at night. Ultimately, there's the risk of developing cirrhosis or even liver cancer silently. Eggs, though small, can be a significant challenge for those with liver disease after every meal. Knowing early, adjusting early, and avoiding these risks is the best way to protect your already fragile liver, which is working hard to support your body every day. The third group, people with a high fever or infection. Eating eggs during this time is like throwing gasoline onto a fire, hindering recovery. A very common mistake that many people still make when someone in the household is sick is thinking that eating eggs will help restore strength quickly. Especially for those with a fever, many people push themselves or others to eat eggs, thinking that adding protein will help the body fight off illness. Unfortunately, this is a harmful misconception. When you have a fever, your body is in a state of emergency. The immune system is working at full capacity. Your body temperature is elevated. Your heart rate increases, and all your organs are focused on eliminating the bacteria or virus. At this point, adding a protein-rich food like eggs, which is hard to digest, is like forcing your already stressed body to carry an extra burden. Not only will this help you recover faster, but it will also slow down your digestive process, making your stomach work harder and raising your body temperature even more. The result is a prolonged fever that doesn't go down, a feeling of intense heat in the body, and an increased risk of nausea. For those with weak constitutions, this can even lead to dehydration, seizures, and severe weakness after the fever subsides. Additionally, when you're sick, your body can't effectively absorb the nutrients from eggs. Even if you force yourself to eat them, it's like blowing wind over a stone. You won't gain anything, and it may just create more turmoil. Think of your body with a fever as a raging fire. Eating eggs during this time is like throwing gasoline onto the fire, making it burn hotter instead of helping it cool down. Timing is key. Eggs are great when you're healthy, but when your body is battling an infection, they become an unnecessary burden and even dangerous. Remember, when you're sick, rest and hydration are the most important. Light, easy-to-digest foods are what your body needs to recover, not eggs, and definitely not forcing yourself to eat them. The fourth group, people who are allergic to egg protein. For many people, eggs are a symbol of nutrition and life. But for some, eggs are something the body simply doesn't welcome. It's like an uninvited guest that causes chaos the moment it enters. People who are allergic to egg protein, especially the ovalbumin in egg whites, can experience reactions ranging from mild to severe when they eat or come into contact with eggs. The dangerous thing is that many older adults don't even know they have this allergy, thinking it's something that only affects children. However, allergies can silently persist throughout life, waiting for the right conditions to trigger a reaction, which can happen so quickly that there's no time to react. Just minutes after eating, the mouth might start itching, the tongue may feel numb, and your face could flush with heat. Soon after, red rashes may break out across the body, and some people even experience difficulty breathing and tightness in the chest as if their throat is being squeezed from the inside. This is a sign of an acute allergic reaction, and if severe, it can lead to anaphylactic shock. For older adults with a weaker immune system, blood vessels can suddenly constrict. Blood pressure can drop drastically, and the risk of heart failure or fainting is very real if emergency care isn't provided in time. Many people mistakenly think that if their loved one gets itchy after eating eggs, it's because the food was too hot or not cooked properly. But the allergen doesn't disappear with cooking. It just stays dormant, waiting to trigger a reaction. And one thing to remember, the first reaction might be mild, but if eggs are consumed again, the body will react more strongly, more quickly, and more dangerously. As we age, our bodies become less tolerant, and allergies can escalate into life-threatening situations. The only way to be sure is to get an allergy test for egg protein if you've ever had unusual symptoms after eating eggs. After all, one egg isn't worth risking a life-threatening reaction. If your body says no, it's important to listen. The fifth group, people with dyslipidemia, abnormal blood lipids. For people with abnormal blood lipids, every egg eaten is like adding another layer of plaque, slowly blocking the flow of life in the blood vessels. Did you know that blood fat isn't something that's easily visible, like obesity? It's a silent invader that sticks to the blood vessels, like rust slowly eating away at the metal inside an old pipe. It sounds like a metaphor, but this is exactly how blood fat attacks the body every day. And eggs, with their high protein content, are rich in cholesterol. A single medium-sized egg can contain up to 186 to 200 milligrams of cholesterol, which is almost the recommended daily limit for people with dyslipidemia. This means that just one egg can cause a sudden spike in bad cholesterol, thickening the blood and slowing its flow, forcing the blood vessels to work harder to allow each drop of blood to move. Over time, the bad cholesterol LDL accumulates like dirt and sludge in a clogged pipe, forming plaques. Each time the heart beats to pump blood, the blood vessels have to fight against the pressure and navigate through the jagged turns caused by the plaque buildup. The consequences of this are often felt before a hospital visit. Dizziness, lightheadedness when changing positions, numbness in the limbs, insufficient blood flow to the brain, chest pain, and fatigue, all signs that the coronary arteries are beginning to narrow. Many people think eggs are a golden source of nutrition, but they forget that the body has limits when it comes to absorption. Blood fat is like a parasite. It only needs an opportunity to stick and wreak havoc on the blood vessels. Even worse, dyslipidemia has no clear symptoms, and often it's only after a stroke or heart attack that people realize the damage. So, for those with high blood lipids, eggs are not a boost to health. They are the last drop that overflows the heart's ability to handle it. Understand what's right, eat enough, and be selective. This is the smartest way to love your body in your later years. The sixth group, people with cardiovascular disease. For people with heart disease, eggs are no longer a nourishing food, but a dangerous test for a weakened heart. After years of carrying the weight of life, working hard, and caring for others, the body, especially the heart, is like a machine that has traveled thousands of miles. The most important part, the heart, the central engine, has grown old but still beats to keep you alive. For those with heart disease, especially coronary artery disease, heart failure, or mild heart insufficiency, eggs, despite being a golden source of nutrition, are no longer welcomed. Why? In eggs, particularly the yolk, there are high levels of cholesterol and saturated fats, two factors that increase the pressure on the cardiovascular system after consumption. When eating eggs, especially in large quantities, the amount of fat in the blood increases, making the blood thicker, and the heart has to work harder to pump blood throughout the body. This is like asking an old machine to carry an extra load of dozens of kilograms every day. It won't break immediately, but it wears down gradually with each turn, especially for a weak heart. Even a small change in blood dynamics after a meal, like a slight increase in blood pressure, a faster heart rate, or temporary myocardial ischemia, can act as a catalyst for chest pain, shortness of breath, or even a stroke. Many older adults eat eggs for breakfast, only to feel heavier breaths, more fatigue, and faster heartbeats. But they ignore these signs, thinking it's just part of getting older. The truth is, this is a sign that the heart is asking for help. Eggs are not harmful, but when consumed at the wrong time or by someone with a weak heart, they can add unnecessary strain. For a weak heart, instead of indulging with heavy foods, it's better to offer a light, easily digestible, warm, and safe meal. Living a long life is not about stuffing yourself with as many nutrients as possible, but rather keeping the aging parts of your body working smoothly, giving them the chance to rest, breathe, and live at ease every day. You see, just eating correctly doesn't guarantee safety. For some, it's the body's condition and underlying health problems that turn what seems like a healthy food into a burden. From high blood pressure and liver weakness to high fever, allergies, blood fat issues, and heart disease, each of these conditions is a warning sign from the body to be more careful with every meal. I hope after this, you'll take a clearer, more careful look at your diet. Because living healthily isn't just about eating right, but also knowing when to stop. If you found this information practical and useful, please like the video and share it with your loved ones and friends. Let's ensure no one makes the mistake of a small egg ruining their health. But eggs aren't everything. Our kitchen, which we often think is the warmest and safest place, might secretly be harboring silent killers that most people don't pay attention to. Some foods, if stored in the fridge, don't stay as well preserved as we think. They can transform, produce toxins, and quietly invite cancer into our homes. Let's take a closer look. 4 types of food you should never store in the fridge, as they silently create toxins and bring cancer into your home without you even knowing. A small change in how you store these foods can help you avoid serious health risks down the road. First, bananas. A golden friend for digestion can become harmful if stored in the wrong place. Bananas, soft, sweet, and easily digestible, are a great choice for older adults. But when stored in the fridge, bananas lose their essence. At low temperatures, the natural enzymes in the banana peel break down. The result? The banana darkens quickly, not because it's spoiled, but because of a chemical reaction that's been disrupted. The banana also stops ripening naturally, causing the flesh to become mushy, stringy, and lose its sweetness. Even worse, the banana stem, when in contact with the humid environment of the fridge, can easily grow mold, a microorganism that can produce toxins if it accumulates over time. Instead of putting bananas in the fridge, store them in a well-ventilated place at room temperature. If they ripen too much, you can turn them into smoothies, banana bread, or even freeze them. Just peel them first before freezing. Sometimes a misplaced banana can lead to a bitter experience for your health. Second is the potatoes, from a staple food to a silent toxin producer when forgotten in the fridge. Potatoes, a beloved and familiar dish in many kitchens, have a hidden dark side that most don't realize. When stored in the fridge, the starch in potatoes turns into sugar. And when cooked at high temperatures such as frying or baking, this sugar reacts with amino acids, forming acrylamide, a substance that can cause cancer, as warned by the World Health Organization. That's not all. Potatoes stored in the fridge can start to sprout, producing solanine, a toxic substance that causes nausea, headaches, and in large amounts, poisoning. Remember, never store potatoes in the fridge. Store them in a cool, dark, well-ventilated place below 20 degrees Celsius. If you see sprouting potatoes, cut off the sprouted part, or better yet, don't use them at all. A simple potato, a familiar food, can turn into a health risk if stored improperly. Third is honey, the magical elixir. Loses its benefits when stored in the wrong compartment. Honey is often called liquid gold, a food with antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and nourishing properties. But when placed in the fridge, it loses its essence. Cold temperatures cause honey to crystallize, forming a cloudy white residue. While it's not harmful, it looks unappealing and is harder to use. More importantly, valuable enzymes like amylase and diastase are inhibited and altered, reducing its nutritional value. If stored in a humid environment without a sealed lid, honey can ferment, become sour, and lose its fragrance and quality. Store honey in a cool, dry place in an airtight glass jar. Don't let nature's sweetness be deceived by the clear appearance of the fridge door. Fourth is garlic. The natural antibiotic becomes a breeding ground for toxins when stored in the fridge. Garlic is like nature's antibiotic, an essential item in every kitchen. However, garlic doesn't do well in the fridge, especially when it's still in its whole bulb. The fridge's high humidity and low temperatures are perfect conditions for garlic to sprout. Garlic sprouts not only lose their potency, but also produce aflatoxins, one of the strongest liver cancer-causing toxins as classified by the WHO. Moreover, when garlic is exposed to moisture, the outer skin becomes soft and prone to mold, allowing bacteria to easily invade, diminishing its flavor and aroma. Store garlic in a dry, well-ventilated place, in a basket or paper bag. Avoid sealed, cold environments. After all, when something meant to protect your health becomes toxic, it's like the old saying, what's meant to help can harm. As you can see, we often think the fridge is the safest place in the kitchen, the perfect spot to store our food with peace of mind. But as we've just learned, not everything belongs in the fridge. These examples highlight the fact that if we don't understand properly, storage habits can become a double-edged sword. The good news is that with just a small adjustment, knowing what to store and what to avoid, you can protect your family's health from many hidden risks. Because in the end, living healthfully isn't about eating as much as possible. It's about understanding how to eat, store, and select food wisely. If this video has given you new insights and valuable lessons, please like and share it with your loved ones, children, and grandchildren. Let's make our kitchens a place for nurturing, not storing risks. The SeniorCare Daily channel will continue to provide practical, easy-to-apply knowledge so you can eat safely, live peacefully, and stay healthy every day. See you in the next video.